Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
This is the Lego city. This is the microRNA, the inspector coming. Why do you love to play with microRNA?
Why do I love to play with microRNA? Well, because they do so many different things, and when we study them, we're constantly surprised by the amazing things that they are doing inside cells.
So they are opening more and more questions.
Yeah, that's really what we love to do in science, you know, is to uncover more questions that keeps us going.
In March 2010, you said for National Library of Medicine, quote, "He is someone whom I admire enormously, especially because I felt that he was someone who had missed an opportunity to be a formally educated person, but he still made a great life for himself and his family."
Mm-hmm.
He was born in Poland. He was orphaned at the age of 8.
Mm-hmm. That's my dad.
Your dad.
Yes.
What did he teach you?
My dad was a brilliant man who always, I think, was challenging us to do as well as we could because we were constantly conscious of how he had, his opportunities had been really taken away from him. So that was, you know, something that motivated us constantly, was to try to please Daddy and to somehow show him that we were doing something that, with our lives, that that he could be satisfied with, you know.
He was born at the wrong time in Europe, in Poland. He was caught up in World War II.
Yes.
He was the forced laborer during the World War II.
Mm-hmm.
What did he do and what did he learn?
He was in a camp that was located at a factory where the job of their job was to take logs and cut them into tiny pieces so those pieces of wood, the wood pellets, could be burned for fuel in automobiles and trucks.
He was 15 to 19,
yeah,
with no education at all, but at the end of the war he was helping the liberators.
Yeah.
How did he learn 5 languages, including Latin?
Yeah, he did go to school, you know, from 1937 to 1939 in a gymnasium in Vilnius, and there he studied German. He learned more Russian. He had learned some Russian in his childhood. Studied Latin, and actually, just from those 2 years in gymnasium, he became fluent enough in German so that when he was in the work camp, he became the go-between between the supervisors, you know, the German supervisors, and his cohort of youngsters who were mostly Polish.
Do you have such a great memory he did?
No, I do not have such a great memory. Yeah.
Because I recalled a story when you were talking about Anna Karenina with him.
Yes.
And he said, "Oh yeah, I recalled it. I know about it."
Yeah.
How long after he read it did you talk about it?
Yes, this would be in 2010 probably, and then he said, "Well, I read it in school." So he would have read it in 1937, and the two of us were comparing notes and impressions about the narrative and the beauty of the language, and with specificity. And so this man had remembered it, of course, but then he said, "Well, I read it in Russian."
About the beauty and the writing, that's what we can connect closely to your father, because this is his handwriting.
Yes.
This is your father's signature.
Yeah.
Because this is from your school. It is pupil progress report, 3rd to 8th grade.
Yes.
Quite good grades, I would say, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
Is it true that people did not cash out checks thanks to his amazing handwriting?
Yeah. Sometimes they would show it to people for days and days before they cashed it because they wanted to show people his remarkable handwriting. I think in those days, that's what they were taught in school in that part of Europe, was this script.
What about your handwriting? Can we compare?
No, it's terrible. Yes, right. When I was young, I tried to emulate that, but it was a sad attempt. And so
It did not work at all.
No, no, no.
What kind of student were you?
I was curious. I did well in school, so I was encouraged also by my parents, particularly my dad, so that I was constantly under the impression that I had a chance to become what I wanted to be, which was a scientist. I wanted to be a scientist from certainly by when I was that age, right there.
And you were working on quite a lot of projects together. In your Nobel Prize talk, you also showed some pictures of your work together. This is one of them when you were working on a project. You figuring things out, and your father supervising the work. What did you figure out?
Well, it looks like I figured out maybe that pipes go together by clockwise rotation.
But this is what you figured out as a little kid, truly a little kid. But at the age of 17, you came up with something absolutely different. Your article was in Sky and Telescope magazine, published in May 1970.
Yeah, I had a little paragraph there that that I had reported to this author about our observations in this case of an eclipse in Virginia.
This was your station.
Yes, my station. Right.
Because we learned in the article that your station was 1 mile south of Cinco Terre, Virginia, and 35 miles from the central line. So this was your station. This is your first lab.
Yeah. So I think you may be able to imagine how thrilling that would be for a 17-year-old kid from a farm in Vermont to have his name mentioned in a magazine, let alone where my station was.
You milk the cow every day.
That's true, yes.
Because you grew up on an isolated farm, quarter mile from the closest neighbors. Were you alone?
Yes, it was a large family, so there were lots of siblings to play with, but personally, I think I was a daydreamer, you know, and I spent a lot of time alone.
You were a shooter as well.
Oh my God.
Were you not?
Yes, we had.
How good of a shot are you?
A shooter? With a gun? Yes, I was a hunter, yeah. And amazingly, my mother let me just leave the house with a gun and roam around all day.
At what age?
11, 12,
So you grabbed a gun?
Yeah.
Like a pistol or, I don't know?
A rifle.
A rifle?
Yes.
Okay, a rifle. And you went just shoot at stuff?
Yeah, animals, small animals,
How successful were you?
I rarely hit any animal. They were safe. They were safe from you. When I was hunting.
What about the rabbit? Because you wanted to have a pet rabbit, not to shoot it, but to catch it. And
I can't imagine where you got this information. That's amazing. Yeah, I wanted to have a pet rabbit, and I thought I would catch a wild rabbit. So my dad helped me build a trap, and we caught a squirrel.
Did you pet it?
No. So we let the squirrel go, and then he said, let's just buy real domestic rabbits for you to have.
He did not recommend to have a wild rabbit as a pet?
No. I don't know why he let me help me build the trap, probably because he thought it was educational, to learn how to make this little trap that was going to catch them live.